sunlit streets of Daytona Beach, a shadow lingered, a darkness that preyed upon the vulnerable and left a trail of unanswered questions. Between 2005 and 2006, the bodies of 4 women were discovered, their lives cruelly extinguished, their stories silenced. But it was not until over a decade later that DNA evidence would finally bring their killer to justice, revealing a truth more haunting than fiction. The call came through at dawn, the kind that sends a chill through even the most seasoned officer. A body had been discovered in the brush along Ridgewood Avenue, a place where the sunlight barely touched the ground. Detective Stephen Morgan arrived on the scene, the air heavy with the weight of what could not be unseen, another victim in what would become a series of brutal, unsolved murders. As the investigation unfolded, it became apparent that the young woman was not alone in her fate. Over the next year, 3 more women were found under similarly grim circumstances. Each was a sex worker, each brutally murdered and discarded like refuse along the bustling Florida coast. The pattern was unmistakable, the killer's signature chillingly clear. Yet the trail was as cold as the bodies left behind. In these early days, fear spread through Daytona Beach like wildfire. For the women whose lives were lived in the shadows of society, the threat was omnipresent. And for the detectives tasked with solving these heinous crimes, frustration mounted with each dead-end lead and false start. The killer, it seemed, was always one step ahead. The city was gripped by a palpable sense of dread. Residents whispered about the specter haunting their streets, speculating about the identity of the monster among them. Law enforcement pored over scant evidence, hoping for a break, a sign, anything that might shed light on the darkness. But the killer was meticulous, leaving behind little more than a trail of fear and shattered lives. The unease that settled over Daytona Beach was more than justified. Each victim had been someone's daughter, sister, or friend, and their violent deaths served as a grim reminder of the fragility of life. Rumors circulated, theories abounded, and the media descended upon the city, eager to capture the story of a community under siege. Yet amidst the chaos, the killer remained elusive. Years passed and the case grew cold, the files gathering dust in the archives of the Daytona Beach Police Department. But the specter of those unsolved murders never truly faded. For Detective Morgan and his colleagues, the faces of the victims haunted their dreams, a constant reminder of justice left unserved. Then, in a twist that seemed almost miraculous, the case was resurrected by the advancements in forensic science. A single strand of DNA overlooked for years finally revealed its secrets. The sample, meticulously preserved, was run through the national database, and a match was found. The name that surfaced was Robert Hayes, a man previously convicted of an unrelated crime. His DNA, collected upon conviction, was the key that would unlock the mystery that had gripped Daytona Beach for over a decade. The arrest of Robert Hayes sent shockwaves through the community. The man who had eluded capture for so long was finally in custody, and the families of the victims could begin to hope for justice. As the trial unfolded in 2019, the details of Hayes' crimes emerged. A calculated and remorseless predator who had taken advantage of society's margins to carry out his heinous acts. The courtroom was a somber place, filled with the families of the victims and the officers who had dedicated years to solving the case. Each piece of evidence, each testimony, brought the horror of those nights back into stark relief. But with each revelation, the community's resolve strengthened, determined to see justice served for the women whose lives had been cut tragically short. In 2022, Robert Hayes was sentenced for his crimes. His life behind bars, a small comfort to those who had lost so much. The verdict was a testament to the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the power of forensic science, yet it also served as a stark reminder of the fragility of justice and the importance of vigilance. The story of the Daytona Beach Serial Murders is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in our midst, masked by the mundanity of everyday life. It teaches us the importance of never turning a blind eye to the vulnerable, of remaining vigilant, even when the threat seems distant. We must promise ourselves to trust our instincts, to listen to the silenced voices, and to never dismiss the feeling that something is amiss. Remember the women who were lost, and let their stories be a warning that echoes through time. If this story unsettled you, good. That means you're paying attention. Subscribe for more documented nightmares that refuse to stay buried, and remember, the scariest stories are the ones that actually happened. Until next time, stay vigilant.